Yes.
Well, you know what's more genius about it is, you go back to, I come from a retail background, and I think Kate's was using this retail mind because we have a selling technique. Answer, question A, question B leads you to C. Kate's is setting up old books for sure that he has no rights to, but if you buy those, us being comic book collectors, you have to buy Kate's books so you have the set or whatever they're referencing. So by bringing up old books, he's selling his books, which is brilliant to me. Nobody even thinks of it in that aspect. Here's this. I'm going to write it into my story. Guess what? We need it now.
Did any of you guys read the Carnage book, the new Carnage book?
Hold on a second, guys, because everything is crashing right now.
Ooh, wonderful.
YouTube is crashing right now.
Yeah.
The Zeppelin.
I was going to say something life-changing right now, too. That's crazy.
But we're live. We just went live on Facebook.
Did we? We're still. if we're still live on Facebook, I say roll with it.
Roll with it.
But we crashed on YouTube. It looks like it might be back up now. Yeah, it looks like we're back up now. Sorry, guys, if it crashed on everyone.
Just refresh.
Yeah,
that's what I was just now doing.
Yeah, you might want to say something in the chat to those guys. I have a lot of respect for Donny Cates. I have a lot of respect for Hickman and what Hickman's doing right now with the whole X-Men stuff. Absolutely crazy, game-changing. He's really changing everything like he said he was. He was trying to clean up all the mess that X-Men continuity was. No.
Jay said you had one job, Matt.
This wasn't me. This was YouTube. This was not me at all.
I noticed that the YouTube started spinning like a minute or two ago.
Well, it looks like we're good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it looks like we're back up.
Cool.
Podcast unsubscribed bullshit.
Talking about the podcast, I gotta tell you guys, I just put together a killer PC, man. We lost our main show PC. We were using a Mac, and Keith's Mac just bit it, and it's dead. And so we decided we're just gonna build something, a Windows machine. So I ended up getting the new AMD 3700X.
It's a nice processor.
Yeah, it really is. I wanted the 3900X, but you just can't find them anywhere. Literally, it might be months. There's just such a fuck up over that you're not going to get them. So anyways, I built a machine with that, and it's unbelievable what a good machine, put some money behind a good machine, what that will do for projects like video editing and obviously gaming and that type of stuff. It is, we edited a new podcast episode in like 2 hours from beginning to end, in this machine. So definitely if any of you guys are having issues like that, if you're able to, throw some money at it and put something together.
That's cool, man.
Money.
Yeah,
we're gonna get along just fine. I love building PCs. I built mine, and I'm sitting here just jonesing. I'm like,
I'll be right back.
There's nothing better than that time when you're putting the idea together, and you're like, okay, what do I want to get? You're doing research and excited.
My favorite part was going to that. I can't think of the website now, but the website where you plug in your parts to make sure they're all compatible.
Yeah, part checker.
That doesn't work. I got to find a new one. Oh man, I probably did like 10 builds of ones I'll never own just to mess with the part builder.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. And with Amazon and Newegg and how fast everything got shipped out, I had my parts within a week. I had everything within a week. So I put it together in half a night, and it's pretty unreal.
What'd you do when you hit the power button and the lights came on for the first time?
I gotta tell you, this is what happened. So I hit the power button, and everything came up. Everything came up good, fine. All my lights and my LEDs are showing good, but my monitor wouldn't show up. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I hooked up HDMI, and it just wouldn't show up. And so I start troubleshooting. I go as far as pulling the whole board apart and pulling out the CPU to check for bent pins. Nothing.
Yep.
So I put everything back together, and I'm just fucking pissed. And I'm like, I'm gonna try another monitor. So I had my brother grab his monitor, bring it over, bring it down, and plugged it in. Fucking worked fine.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the same thing happened to me. Turn it on, got a red light, it powered down. My wife walks by and goes, "What's wrong?" And I just looked at her, and I hear her go, "Kids, stay away from dad for about an hour or two."
Yep.
So I was losing it. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't power on. Eventually I got it, and it was my fault. So
just screaming at the air, man. I would just be screaming. When I pulled out the CPU, I fucking got thermal paste in some of the pins. So I had to clean the pins. Oh, what a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and my family's all super sarcastic if you haven't caught on to what happens around here. So my 9-year-old walks by and stops and goes, "What's wrong, Dad? Your computer not work?" And I was like, "Little, yes." And, he runs off. He thinks it's hilarious. It's just how we treat each other. That's love in my family, is antagonizing each other. So.
Kyle's got a new build that he's going to be doing with his son coming up here. So,
yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man. Have you guys read my story on my page on why I got into comics?
No.
Check it out if you ever get the chance, because what it was, I'll give you the story. Yeah. Okay, so my son refused to read, wouldn't do it. And the wife is saying, he's got to read, and you got to figure it out, because me and him are weird, like we're besties. So if I say it, it's cool. So he's driving in my car, and I'm giving him this super awesome speech. I'm talking like Dad of the Year stuff. They're going to give me a friggin' award, okay? "Son, you got to read. It's so important, guy, yada, yada, yada." And he goes, "Okay, Dad, what do you read?" I was like, "Oh, crap. I don't read anything." And at that moment, we happen to be driving past a comic book store. I'm like, "Okay, you little turd, let's do this." Pull in. I see the comic book store. I pull off the road. Him and I walk inside, and boom, nostalgia came back. Back in the day, I used to be a big Blue Beetle fan when I was a kid, because they were dollar comics and I could afford them. But yeah, him and I go nuts. We spend like $50 in this comic book shop, and right next door was a pizza place. So we would get comics, go and get a pizza, and read them. And we did this for Wednesday after Wednesday.
That's badass.
Eventually, it became a thing, and I can tell you, we just got his test scores back, and the kid's gifted. And yes, he's gifted in reading, which is crazy. He wouldn't read about a year and a half ago. Wouldn't do it.
Fucking cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Leave it to comics.
He loves his comics, man. I run in the house, he starts throwing crap. He's like, "This isn't mine. This is mine." I'm like, "Those are mine." He likes Batman Turtles right now. He likes Teen Titans. He's a big Damian fan. He's got every key that has to do with Damian Wayne in his personal collection.
Yeah,
Batman Turtles is his jam, and then what was I just saying? The one with him.
Don't they got a new Batman Turtles coming out?
Number 3's out right now. They're in part. I just gave it to him right now, so he's reading it.
Is that the Gotham, the animated Batman series?
No, that one's from Batman Turtles #1. We're up to Batman Turtles 3 now.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. That movie just came out, which is funny because I told my wife we're going to watch this cartoon. She comes walking by, and then Shredder throws a ninja star and decapitates this dude, and she's like, "Should he be watching this?" I'm like, "It's a cartoon. It's fine.
It's fake."
I think we've talked about that on this show a lot, is that we'd love to see a really dark Ninja Turtles movie.
It's like the material's there.
Yeah. So, let's see what we got here. So, Deadpool talking about the PG-13 shit. That's kind of cheesy. I don't know why they would even want to do that. I know they're saying it's Disney-fied, but wasn't Disney just talking about doing R-rated stuff?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think they should go with an R-rated, separated, like, line where they have, it's still part of the continuity of a Marvel comics and our Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they can have people come in and go, but do an R-rated line. That's why I think that's why they announced Blade at the end of Phase 4, or at the end of the last phase. Yeah, Phase 4, without giving a timeline. And not saying that it's Phase 5. I think they're going to announce something else along those lines at Disney Plus, or not Disney Plus, but at D20, because there's, or whatever their announcement festival is. But I think they'll separate lines, so you'll have R-rated movies. Like, I think that's where if you ever get another Wolverine movie after the success of Logan, they're going to go that route. They're going to.
You think there's more down the pipeline?
Yes, the pipeline, Kyle. So
like that Marvel Dark Knight series that they had, or series that they had.
I wouldn't even be surprised if they like retitle it like the Marvel Knights line for cinematic universe where it's just darker and R-rated stuff. So you're gonna get Blade,
Marvel pipeline.
there you go, Blade, Deadpool, Logan, stuff like that.
Because didn't they introduce Jessica Jones on that line, the Marvel Knights or something like that?
Yes, that first Alias wasn't that Marvel?
Yep.
Knight? Yeah.
Because of grittier and darker and
Well, I did see
content.
where they're selling all the Daredevil stuff, right? So they're definitely killing that.
That's crazy that they're auctioning that stuff off.
Fucking, it kind of pisses me off.
I don't think they're gonna kill it though. I think they're gonna just reboot and they're gonna it's gonna be a new suit. I think Charlie Cox comes back. I think you're gonna see him be made into a movie. That series is so popular. That series is leaps and bounds more popular than all the other Netflix Marvel stuff that came out. So they're gonna give him his own movie. I think it just hasn't been announced yet.
They just need to do it.
If they do Daredevil, it's gonna be a different. There's gonna be a different person playing it.
You don't think it'll be Charlie Cox?
And he does such a good Daredevil.
I think
too.
it will because I think it will. I love this Daredevil.
Hey, we'll make a bet. What do you want to bet?
Well, because there's already talking stipulation about him, or speculation, not
Do look
stipulation.
gambling here. People like to
Speculation
gamble.
about him being in the next Spider-Man movie after the way Far From Home ended.
Well, he's already been in movies before, so he's already I would say film actor, where you get some of the like the Flash character, and then the guy that casted him in Justice League is the dude from Harry Potter. I can't tell you his name, but I know he's in Fantastical Beasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's already got some movie cred, so maybe they will cast Charlie Cox because he was in Stardust.
Yeah. Well, I think Charlie Cox did his best acting in fucking Daredevil. He did such a good job being British. You can't even tell he has the that always blows me away is when you can't even fucking tell they have the British accent. That like Homelander and The Boys, you can't even tell. That guy killed it. That guy was so good in that. And anyways.
Well, and pretending to be blind, how hard is that? Just staring off into space and holding it. No, he does that well. I try to do that when my wife's giving me chores. I'm like,
I got pretty good at doing that too.
working on it. She's like, hey, can you take out the
I even get my cane out and everything and start clicking around.
That'd be funny if you had one that like the ones that break down and put in your pocket.
So every time she starts talking, I just whip it out. Start trying to find the door.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a bummer, that there's everything going on with not hopefully we'll see more of Charlie Cox's Daredevil.
I think you're going to see a big resurgence in the more graphic and gritty superhero stuff, especially with like in 2 weeks The Boys is blown up, and that's like the hottest thing on the planet right now. Umbrella Academy was absolute fire. So you're going to see that they're they're paying attention and seeing that the call for and the want for a more gritty superhero dynamic is there. So
we got Carnage coming, so if that's where they want to go, they got
after the fucking way Venom went, though, I don't have hopes for Carnage. Even if they're going to give Tom Hardy more input.
What about Andy Serkis as the director?
Yeah, I don't. The director doesn't make the movie better if the script still sucks ass.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think that if they go really dark, that's the best character to go dark. And they got a great They got a great actor playing the character. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the fact that they made Venom a buddy cop movie. just the fact they made Venom a buddy cop movie ruins it.
Well, the problem with the movies is they have to make that nice middle ground for people that don't read the books.
Right.
It's got to appeal to all audiences, so they pull up on the dark to make it appealing.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Carnage should be rated R without even a script. We should just know that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of why I hope a lot of these movies start going the route of Netflix and straight to the streaming things. That way you don't have to worry about that.
To your point, Anthony, I think if they announce Carnage isn't going to be rated R, it's going to hurt sales for that movie.
Oh, absolutely.
People are going to turn away from it.
Well, the nerds come in force. I mean, we're still the big market. You know, they got to make that back end dollar, so that's where they try to find that nice gray. It just pisses us off.
Yep. Yeah, well, there is a word of a train wreck coming, though, to the MCU, and that is the Black Widow movie. Word that it's just going to be an SJW shit show.
Hold on, before we move on to that, just real quick, Max Scotty just put on Facebook, the people that were kids when the superhero genre started to kick off are now adults and want darker side instead of the vanilla pop that required for tweens. So that, I never even thought about it like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, what about Black Widow?
Just how there's rumors that it's just absolute garbage, social justice warrior, really PC type shit that is kind of going to set them back. I think if they put something out like that, I don't want to hear any more politics in my movies. I don't care about that. I go to the movies to get away from that bullshit.
You don't think they say that just because it's a female-led movie? Because they said that a lot about Captain Marvel too, that it was going to be this PC, social justice, feminist-driven, male-hating movie. What, Kyle?
I said I need to speak to your manager.
Yeah. Well, she definitely had that haircut in Endgame.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, look, now I'm Daredevil.
yeah.
You know what makes up for it though is the power set. Because the thing that bothered me about Black Widow in the movies is I hated that she beat up like 20 Marines. I couldn't buy it. You know, where Captain Marvel, at least, you know, she's got something else going on in her where she'll throw some shit at you and blow you up. But, you know, Black Widow beating up 20 Marines in a building, I had a hard time with that. And that's where it kind of gets for me.
It'll be interesting to see where they go either way because, you know, they're going to introduce that new character and that'll be interesting. That new character was also introduced in that Marvel Knights line, which was that was Marvel going the more adult route with that line. So I don't know. Who knows? Could just be a crazy rumor.
Jay says, I personally think that there's no need for a Black Widow film. And Kyle agreed with him in the chat, but I think the reason they're doing it is to establish a new, an heir to the throne for her. And that's what you're going to get in this film. But I personally agree and think that Taskmaster is fucking wasted. A wasted villain in this movie. This was the wrong movie to put him in.
If they pull a Crossbones, I'm going to fucking lose it, man. Because Taskmaster is the least villain you want to waste.
Yeah.
He's so good. And that terrible uniform that we saw him in, those pictures that everybody was talking about.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and that's straight out of the comics. That was an outfit costume that he wore straight out of the comics. It was dog shit then, it's dog shit now. So, yeah, they definitely got me worried. We'll see what happens.
To me, but to kind of poach on something that Anthony said, to me it makes sense that she can dispatch all those dudes just because she's an assassin, the way she was trained, and
because she's hot.
Yeah, it's because she's hot.
And that's where the
does it.
I mean, she's got that hitman like John Wick style training. So
I don't know. I think she's beat.
Oh,
You don't call her.
Here we go again, Ryan. 2 out of 20, you get what you pay for, right?
See, do you guys play Assassin's Creed at all?
I do.
Okay, so do you remember? And I can't remember the steampunk one, but my thing with Black Widow in that game, you had to toggle between the brother and the sister because she was more stealthy and he was more broody.
Is that Unity?
It's the one right after that. It's the one that takes place in England. It's the steampunky one.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just can't think of.
And that's kind of my Black Widow for me. You know, 1-on-1, 1-on-2 for sure. A hallway full of guys coming at her. I was like, all right, they should handle her. Nope. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. This is bathroom break time.
There's nothing better than a Marvel hallway scene,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, what's the one where the guy she like does that pose where she stops like this and the guy just falls back camera, and I'm like, where the hell did he come from? How'd she get him up there?
Yeah, it's all their homage to Old Boy.
There you go.
Like they all want to do an Old Boy scene. One of the crazy things that happened was the Rob Liefeld fiasco is continuing. I guess he did something kind of stupid out in London.
Oh, it's Syndicate is the one you're thinking of.
Syndicate. Boom. That's my jam.
Does anybody know about what this whole thing was about? Matt
knows the whole story.
Yeah. Dude, he went to this convention after San Diego in England, in London, and basically he sent out a tweet to the runner of the convention, pretty much just lambasting him, being like, hey, so my room was supposed to be complimentary. They charged it to my credit card. All charges went to my credit card. It's not a big deal. I just want to know if I'm being reimbursed. What's going on? And the guy responded, well, Rob, on Twitter, well, Rob, if you would have stayed in the lodging that was provided by the convention, this wouldn't have been an issue. But because you decided that you needed to stay at a different hotel away from the convention with your entourage, that this happens. You have to put a credit card on file. It happens, but don't worry, we'll take care of it. So then he's about a few hours later, he tweets again, feeling super sick. Don't know if I'm going to make it today, but I have to get up because I've got a line of people waiting for me. And then he tweets again, I might pass out during my signing because I'm super sick, but don't worry, guys, I'm on my way. And then he just starts getting fucking roasted by everybody, all the other creators that are there. Everyone starts tweeting, making fun of him. Oh, I'm, got a hangnail, but don't worry, I'm on my way. Constipated, might not make it today, but don't worry, I'm on my way. They just, all these other creators.
What were some of the creators that were doing it?
You'd have to look in that post or the article. I can't remember who
Kit
said
Cox,
what. But
Gary Erskine.
They just start taking shots at him.
Yeah.
And then so I guess later on he misses his photo session. And people are tweeting at him, hey, where are you? You're late for your photo session. And Rob tweets out, this convention is something like, this convention is a mess. Like, nobody's telling me where I need to be and what time things need to be done. And the convention organizer again fires back with, nope, your people have been notified of where you got to be. Your itinerary has been given. It's been signed off on. Your people know where they need to go. And then Rob responds with, no, true, that's lies, like half truths, that's fake. And it just like snowballed from there. And then you have other creators like chiming in about how, they all know where they're supposed to be and they all know where to go and they've got all their information and they can't understand how he's the only one that can't figure this out. And it was just a giant shit show, man. And like, it just seems like his ego is just exploded over the last few weeks. And he's like, ever since Major X came out and it was a hot book for its 6-issue run, like his ego has just tripled in size. And he thinks his shit doesn't stink. And he's like he's like God's gift to man. Like he's the next Stan Lee or something.
He went all Antonio Brown on everybody.
Pretty much. Yeah.
He's got to wear his own helmet, guys.
Well, I think the helmet thing with him is that's a scapegoat for the fact that they gave him frostbite. So
Right?
I think that's hilarious. That moron decided to step into like negative 200°C, craziness with no foot protection. What a moron! And whoever at Paris Saint-Germain thought that was a good idea needs to fucking lose his job.
And the funny thing is, I'm trying to think of a way to like get on him and say something really funny and offensive, but how can you? How stupid is that? Like anything I couldn't say couldn't beat the actual act of putting his foot in there, the dumbass.
They came out today saying he had severe frostbite.
Yep.
Who?
That dude might not come back to ever play. Like that dude might lose his fucking feet.
Yep, toes. They gone.
Antonio Brown. He's a football player.
So we're comparing him to Rob Liefeld, him and the other crazy crybaby.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob Liefeld's my friend.
Is he? It's your boy. He hasn't blocked you yet?
Oh, he's
That's his jam.
But we're all blocked by him, all except for Brian.
Nope.
Right? You're not.
I'm not played it safe.
He hasn't blocked me yet.
I have the second appearance of Deadpool that says, to Kyle, your friend, Rob Liefeld.
You should send him, or send it to me, and I'll send it to him since you're blocked.
We've roasted him so much. Not only are we blocked, but he refused to do an interview with us at San Diego. He absolutely refused.
He knew you were on his list. He just pulled it out and said, hell no to you guys.
How funny would that have been? That would have been classic to get an interview and talk to him with wearing that shirt. That would have been absolutely classic. Yeah.
I want one now so I can wear it on the show.
He will get you one, man.
All right. Oh, I need some sizes so I can send you guys some of these.
All right. We'll do it after.
I got an Absolute Geek shirt I'll send you.
Sweet. Totally will rock that.
Yeah, that's Rob Liefeld. I think he's a big dumpster fire, and he's fun to watch. It's fun to watch burn.
Oh yeah,
douchebag. I would love to hear like I would love to be a fly on the wall and like Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson conversations where they're just roasting Rob Liefeld. What a douche he is.
I want to know who commented on the post now so I can definitely follow them if I don't.
Yeah.
Put your name on something and call him out directly. Those are now my friends.
Yes.
About what, 23 to 30 minutes to block us, maybe? Not even that long?
Yeah.
It took an hour.
You did it?
Yeah, it was an hour.
So I have not been blocked yet. Why don't we do this next time? The Liefeld block challenge. You guys feed me lines to tweet to him and see how long before he blocks me.
All you have to do is take a shot about how garbage his art is, and you're going to be blocked.
But how light? Can I say, oh, your jawlines are a little off? Will that do it?
I would be interested to see that because I went in pretty hard on him when I did it. And
see, I'll start light and we'll build.
There you go.
Yeah, you start. He's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I did. I called his art an embarrassment to the community.
Oh man, he called his mom and cried after that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't need us. He's making all this money on doing shout outs and shit. People paying him $30 a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need to do that.
Yeah.
So he can draw like it's 1995 again.
He can draw us 1 foot.
Did you guys see that new Punisher cover? I forget the artist. It's a new cover where the face of the Punisher looks terrible, but he's holding these badass guns. Have you guys seen that new cover?
It's from the current run?
I'm not sure what the book is. I think the image just got released. And the reason I bring it up is because the guns are really badass looking and they're fucking massive. So there's ways to draw guns that look cool, that big guns. Every single gun that Rob Liefeld draws looks like complete shit.
You know what that reminds me of? Starship Troopers, that style of gun. They're always these big, like laser looking, but they shoot bullets.
Look at that bent.
Yeah. Stupid.
Dude, I want to pay Rob Liefeld $30 on that site and see if he'll recite his Levi's commercial.
Tell him to pay him $60.
I want him to recite that Levi's commercial from the 90s.
What the fuck are you opening, Jose?
Where he's like, I didn't even go to art school.
We could tell.
Have you guys ever seen the Complex interview with Todd McFarlane? You guys get a chance, go watch that interview. I forget what it's called, but just look up Complex Todd McFarlane interview. It's one of the best interviews you'll ever see, and you can kind of tell.
Damn.
Yeah, there you go.
Just right next to my desk, right here, reaching distance.
Dude, there's a Wizard cover that Joe Quesada does that is the most beautiful homage to that cover. It's almost as good as that cover.
Oh, my man, Chimichanga coming through. What's he got?
Probably
A
nothing.
mouthful of granola bar right now.
The best part.
Oh, what's up? What's up, Todd?
Yep.
Oh, dude, I
Found
heard
this.
that somewhere too.
Found this somewhere. Showed up in the Absolute Geek box this month.
Now we just need Tim in here with his Rob Liefeld mask.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, bro, I found it. I found the cover.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Look how beautiful that is. Absolutely gorgeous.
I bought so many wizards.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. I loved it.
Wizard is the greatest shitter material next to the Facebook.
And you know how I know that?
I
Is
still
that
prefer Playboy
John,
for the articles, strictly for the articles.
Of course, right? Yeah, Josh's collection had quite a few of those in there, so I was afraid to touch them.
Playboys.
No, lizards.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to touch those Playboys too.
But one of the things that we wanted to talk about before we called it a night was this wonderful story about Area 51 that's coming. You know, we all know that everybody's deciding to storm Area 51.
I have a feeling you're gonna be there, Brian. I think we're gonna see you in a video get
Look online.
beanbagged. Yeah, he's gonna be like get beanbagged in a footage video on YouTube or something.
I mean, how do you know I'm not already there, bro?
Like,
Come on, man.
That's sexy.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, the more that comes out about it, like, I kind of want to go just to say that you were there.
Did you see that the dude who started the FBI has already contacted him?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, just to make sure that he wasn't.
Joke.
Just to make sure that he wasn't a terrorist.
I would live stream that shit, man.
Oh yeah, you're just running around like this.
Our friend.
Around there are books.
I think Pauly Shore and Biodome.
Right?
All the
Hey,
hotels.
wife, if
around
they
there-
storm
yeah.
Area 51, can I go?
All the hotel rooms are already booked. There's DJs coming. There's an exotic entertainment company's bringing strippers in their stripper bus. Like, it's gonna be just a massive party in the desert, dude.
Marshmallow DJing.
Yeah, it's become Burning Man.
I think it's.
Style.
I think that's what it's going to turn into, like some kind of just like
Coachella.
yeah, there'll be bands at a stage set up.
Area 51 Coachella. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going. So, I definitely think that we should try and put something together, and like a GoFundMe to get us to
Rate it.
money to go out there, pay our way out there, do a live broadcast from the event. So
That would be awesome.
If there's actually aliens there, I say we just pre-vote now. They get to take Kyle if they have to pick one of us.
yes,
Somebody's gonna fuck him though. No, it's not.
well, Kyle already came back, so
I've already been there and back.
yeah, he's already been there and back.
Perfect. Those are your cousins. We can get out of there real quick. And
We're friends now.
If they're illegal aliens, then they're my cousins.
right, just gotta roll your R's and we're out.
Like, I told
We'll get a van.
Kyle that yesterday, Brian. I was like, you're gonna hear like the week of it. Brian's like, oh yeah, I gotta go to Vegas for a buddy's bachelor party, and then you're just gonna see a video of you getting beanbagged and like as they're tear gassing everybody.
Like I know that one deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that word, man. That kind of creeps me out, man.
What,
Beanbag?
beanbag?
Yeah, beanbag.
Jeez, that does sound dirty.
I can just picture like Halo.
Oh, that's
teabag.
teabagged. Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like that's all I picture. Like I don't know if I want to be beanbag, dude.
Just multiple tea bags.
Open your mouth.
Oh, you'll see. Brian. He'll have a Roman helmet on.
Because I think with all the stuff that's going around with the gun violence and the shootings we've had here over the last couple of weeks, that like I don't think you're gonna see them open fire on people, but I wouldn't be surprised if they beanbag people or rubber bullets and all that crowd controlled riot deterrent stuff.
They're gonna use lasers.
I don't know if they're gonna start just murking people, but
So we already got the next podcast lined up now. We're gonna go to a shooting range and beanbag and see who can take it if it's worth going.
there you go.
If it's not that bad, we'll go. If it sucks, hey, we'll watch it on YouTube.
I remember in high school, one of my best friends was into paintballs, and his girlfriend was coming down a stairway, and he hit her with a ball bearing out of a paintball gun right in the ass.
Oh,
Yeah, it was terrible, man.
Man, I used to play paintball, and when my wife was pregnant, oh man, she's gonna get mad at me. When she came home and she
that
was
means this is a good story.
Oh, this is a great story. Come home and she's just having a terrible pregnant day. And I said, look, wife, I know it'll make you happy. And I loaded my paintball gun. I said, you can shoot me 6 times. So I put 6 paintballs in it. We go in the front yard and she starts shooting at me. Well, guess what? There were more paintballs than 6. She starts spraying up the whole neighborhood. She had loaded more without me noticing. Had welts up and down me, and she was happy as hell. Completely worth it, by the way.
What a good husband.
Oh, man. Well, think about this. It was either that or I was going to have to, hear it all night and everything was going to be my fault. So I took the easy way out.
A little bit of pain.
Hey.
My dad and my uncle used to take me paintballing, and they used to go, "Hey, run over there," and they would use me. So then everybody would jump up and start shooting. So then they knew where to shoot at. They used me as a diversion.
Yeah, you were the diversion.
Yeah. So I could, and then I'd and fucking have all these welts all over me.
That's cool.
So they could win, fuckers.
Well, we definitely want to talk about 200 subscribers. So remember, when we get 200 subscribers, we have that book to raffle off. Kyle,
100 Alex Ross variant.
There we go. So make sure you guys subscribe. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about before we call it a night?
Yeah, let's talk about House of X #2, Kyle.
Man, fuck, that was such a good issue.
I want to know, like, what your thought is on so far what Hickman's done over the last couple issues with House of X.
I think he's killing it. I like his writing style. So I thought the first issue was a little like he packed a lot of shit in there because he had to get this story going. So I think there was a lot to take in that first issue. But I think now that everything is kind of set and he's building his story, issue #2 was kick-ass. Like from page 1, like it's one of those books where I was so bummed that it ended. Like if it would have kept, if he should have made it like a double issue, like Absolute Carnage was.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story was so good and it was so interesting. Like I read it, you know what I mean? I had to thumb through it again because I was just bummed that it ended. What'd you think of it, Matt? Did you read it, Jose?
No.
Of course not. Why would you read an X-Men book?
Yeah, I'm surprised you're actually not reading this book, Jose.
There's so many fucking offshoots. I got sick of it.
But that's what he's doing. He's cleaning off.
He's rewriting everything about the X-Men.
Yeah. So, like, if you weren't a big X-Men person before and you decided you want to jump on, I think this is all a really good time to jump on to be an X-Men, to read X-Men.
Like,
because it's different.
I like my 90s X-Men. I'll stick with that.
Moira McTaggart, her name, right? She he just basically rewrote her, and she's been in a mutant this entire time with the ability for reincarnation. So, like,
what about her son?
He hasn't touched her son yet, but like issue 2 of House of X shows. Shut up. She hasn't touched her. God damn it.
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting the way that, phrasing, right, Tim? The way that they did everything, and it shows like her reincarnation.
Why does Tim have a fucking wrench next to his name on the?
Because I made him a moderator in the chat.
Oh, look at that fucker! You've been promoted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you keep going now.
I just like the way that it shows all of her time, like different timelines she's taken, and it kind of like shows different paths. Like it shows that she's it's set that she's gonna do the events, but how she tries to change them. Like I was shocked when she joins Apocalypse, and she meets every time she goes to meet Xavier in the timeline where she kind of changes his opinion and tells him everything that she knows about how his plan for mutants and humans to live together in peace is flawed and never works. And he lets her read her mind, and he kind of gets and sees that, and it kind of forces him back to join with Magneto, and she joins Magneto in one timeline, and just kind of the way they broke down her history and everything she's done was really, really cool. And it really makes me wonder, like, it kind of connects the dots now as to why Xavier is the way he is, as far as like dropping that ideology of mutants and humans living together, and now it's more like we're gonna segregate. We're gonna not segregate, but we're gonna remove ourselves from this. We're gonna live on Krakoa in peace. You guys can basically fuck off. He's separating mutants from humans now, and kind of how and why he has that mentality.
Yeah, I'm all for him cleaning up that whole shit show that is X-Men continuity. I just hope he does it in a good way. I'm a little worrisome right now because I don't want to see the same type of storyline that we saw in Doctor Strange and all that bullshit. And all these different timelines and craziness. So,
someone just posted in the chat that they want to buy an Absolute Geek pop socket.
A what?
And did you erase it?
I didn't touch it. Somebody else. He erased it himself.
What does it say?
There's a Matthew Scott in the chat that says, "I want to buy Absolute Geek pop sockets. Are they available?" Oh man. But yeah, it's interesting to see how Hickman is kind of changing everything with X-Men lore, and for people who are like, I'm not getting into this book because I didn't read the last run of Uncanny. You don't need to, because it has nothing to do with that. Like, there's absolutely nothing that's in there from the last couple of runs of X-Men. So you're good to continue on. And then you, like Kyle said, then you had Carnage, the first issue of Carnage from Donny Cates that came out this week too.
And it was a thick ass issue too, man. It was, and you know what? I was a little skeptic on it being $8.
Is it 2 issues or 3? Because it says it's got 3 chapters in it.
I don't know. It was just double sized.
Yeah,
maybe triple. I don't know. But it was worth. It was definitely worth the $8.
Because you had
that's the way they're going to raise prices.
You had the beginning chapter where they're running from Carnage. And Eddie Brock is trying to hide his son. Then you got the chapter 2 where he goes to Peter and asks Peter for help. And then you got chapter 3 where they're trying to break Norman Osborn out of the prison. And shit gets intense. I enjoyed it. I actually was like surprised, and it made me want to go back and read all the other Donny Cates Venom stuff leading up to it. And I'm super excited for the next issue.
Like we were saying earlier, Donny Cates is, whether you hate him or love him, he's doing some really, really different stuff, and he's shaking up the comic world. So,
but I have to admit though, like I think House of X and Powers of X have quickly become one of my favorite books out right now.
Yeah.
So
good writer. And they want to make a change, so I just hope it doesn't turn into a Spider-Man the Others type storyline, where it's complete shit. I want to give a quick, on the topic of Spider-Man, give a quick shout out to Tim fucking killing that Spider-Man tattoo.
Oh yeah, it was cool.
Fucking beautiful. Great pose on Spider-Man. I like the way they did Spider-Man. It's one of the best Spider-Man tattoos I've ever seen, so really, really beautiful, man. I would be interested in know who the artist is and check out his work. So cool stuff. Anybody got anything else?
That's
nothing cool happened this week to anybody? God, you guys work.
Yeah, I work.
What about you, Mr. Superstar? Mr. Radio Personality?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I was on the radio.
I forgot.
I can't tell if you actually forgot or you were just trying to set that segue up.
No, I really just forgot about it. So this weekend, last weekend was a busy weekend for me. So my wife and I, and my sister and my other sister and my niece, we all went to go see the country band Rascal Flatts. So when we were there, I spun the wheel for Camel Country, and it landed on Meet and Greet. So it put my name into a drawing for a meet and greet. So I'm sitting there, and they actually fucking pulled my name out of the box with all the, with all the people that had entered. And the meet and greet was about 4 seconds. So, it took half the concert to get to the meet and greet. So what happened was, it was like, so during the first band we were doing so they did two drawings, one at 7:10, one at 7:20. Some other guy won the 7:10 drawing, I won the 7:20 drawing. They're like, come back at 7:50 to get in line for the meet and greet. And I think the radio station thought the meet and greet was different than what it was, because the DJs and everything weren't back there. And it wasn't backstage. I thought it was backstage. It was not. It was in the fucking parking lot.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's fucking cheesy.
So like we went in the back, and it was like this back. It's fenced off. It's where all like the diesels and the RVs and shit are for the bands. And there's like this grass area, and they had this like a banner up, like a backdrop. Yes, Tim, I actually like Rascal Flatts. But so I was like, so the way to me they had as a meet and greet was like, I thought we were gonna like when my son and I, when we met Killswitch Engage, we like hung out for a few minutes. What?
Weird flex.
Weird flex. Well, we met them, like I was saying before, like we got pictures, autographs. We got to bullshit with them for a while. It was, a little more intimate. So what they did with this Rascal Flatts meet and greet was they were like, we were standing in line, and there was probably like 30 people. And if anybody actually paid for that, I'd feel real fucking bad for them.
Yeah, I bet you there were.
I'm sure
that people were complaining about it.
There was some people. Well, some people, like, we had like these triangle stickers that we had to put on that said meet and greet, and some people had different stickers. So I'm assuming some people had actually
Paid.
Yeah, like I think they paid. So we get in line, and we're like the eighth. Like there was, groups of people. Everybody. If you were whoever you were with, you got the picture with. So it was like we were like the fourth or fifth group back, and I totally look like Fast Cars and Freedom. Thank you, Matt. I scream it. There should be a fucking flag behind me. But so we're sitting there, and they're like, "This is what's going to happen. You have to set your phone and all your stuff on this table, so that you don't take a picture with the people or try to do anything with Rascal Flatts." So we had to put all our stuff on this table behind the backdrop. And so we stood in line, and then they said, "You're next." Dude didn't even say 1, 2, 3, smile, say cheese, fart, anything. The second we got like lined up, he clicked it. Okay. And security escorted us out. And I was like, fuck. So the DJs had said to me, they're like, "Hey, can we interview you on Monday morning about the meet and greet?" And this was before it happened. So I was like, "Sure, no problem. Call me at this time, and I'll be more than happy to talk about it. I'm a radio guy. It's cool. I can do it." I didn't say that part. But
wait to hear what you say to them.
So so I was like, so after the meet and greet, I was like, fuck, I hope they don't call me. What am I supposed to say? That the fucking meet and greet was 4 seconds? Like, what would I...
Tell the truth.
What? I told the truth. I fluffed the truth. But I told the truth.
You give it a chubby.
I told them I was chubby, yes. They thought it was bad. I didn't have to fluff that up. It was fluffed already. So they're like, "We'll call you." Like, they asked me a good time to call, and I was like, "Well, you can call. I usually get to work about 6:40, 6:45, so just call me then. I'm in the office by myself, and I'm not at work yet, so I can. I'll be able to talk for a couple minutes." So of course they don't call me till like 7:30. Well, they had said they had phone problems. My new best friend, the Camel Country DJ, was texting me because we're friends now. And, so I got his phone number. We're like this, dude. We're BFFs. So they put me on, and I'm live on Camel Country, and they're like, "Hey, Kyle, you're the winner of the Rascal Flatts meet and greet. How was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was super cool. You know, we got to wait in line."
Liar.
Right? So we got to wait in line. There's this cool backdrop, and they're like, "So what happened?" I was like, "We walked up, we said hi. You know, I gave him the fist bump because, you know, I'm sure they shake a lot of hands and there's germs and stuff. So I just gave him the fist bump, and they're like, you know, did you give him a belly rub?" And I was like, thought about giving the belly rub. Thought I was going to go belly to belly with him. And I was like, it was great. And we took a picture. And then that was it. You know what I mean? I was like, there wasn't really much else I could say. Like,
what did Nubia say anything?
She didn't. She was asleep, and I was at work, so I was the only one talking to him.
No, I mean when you guys for the meet and greet.
We literally didn't say anything to him. Like, we literally walked up, and we weren't even like, if you see the picture of us,
A blur.
I'm not. It might as well be like, I'm not even like quite looking at the camera yet, and I've got like this. I've got the daredevil face.
Like this.
And I'm like, fuck, man. And they didn't say, you know, like, the guy put his arms around me, and, you know, like, and then as we're walking off, the lead singer's like, "Enjoy the show." I said, "Will do." and then security escorts us out. So
That's shitty.
What? How about the Slipknot show?
oh my god, that was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, and then at the Rascal Flatts concert, man, we just were sitting. We weren't quite to the lawn, but we weren't at covered seating. So the second we get done with the meet and greet, and we get to our seats, it starts fucking pouring down rain.
Oh,
Did you look for any codes?
I did. I did not find one.
Uh-huh.
There was none at the auction pavilion.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
And it poured, and I was soaking wet from head to toe, and then, like, Rascal Flatts goes, "I'm scared to get struck by lightning, so we're going to go ahead and cancel this early."
Oh, really?
You got to be fucking shitting me. We're only going to play for 12 more minutes. And I was like, you're a bunch of assholes. I just fucking want to meet and greet with you fuckers.
Yeah, that's bullshit in the concert.
But no, so the next night, so we got home, and the next night was Slipknot. And what a fucking dude. Those guys, even after all this time, those guys fucking can put on a show.
Chad just said in the chat that Knotfest was a bit of a letdown.
Chad's a fucking liar.
Fucking
Compared
liar.
to Rascal Flatts.
Behemoth, man. Fucking they were awesome. They called the whole audience a bunch of pussies.
I heard they had issues. I had a buddy who went to their show in Denver, and I guess they had a bunch of audio issues at their show in Denver. Like, you couldn't hear Corey Taylor singing.
So that happened here too. For the first 3 songs, you couldn't fucking understand what the fuck Corey Taylor was saying at all. Mm-hmm. Like, the first song they opened up with people equal shit, and the only way you knew when he was actually going people equal shit was because you just know the music.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't actually, and it took, by the 4th song, everything was fine. But yeah, it must be whatever they do for those first 2 songs then.
Interesting.
Well, that's if somebody told me, "Oh, you couldn't understand a word he's saying," I'd be like, "Yeah, that's just metal." But I've seen Slipknot probably them and the Deftones are like the 2 bands I've seen probably the most, and Corey Taylor is actually a pretty damn good live singer. So
like once they got it down, yes, Tim, I did get the 5th Slipknot. Like once they corrected it, you know these songs. They've been playing these songs on the radio forever. So everything else was crystal clear, like, you know, like vocal wise and stuff. You heard what he was saying, but just those first few songs were, I don't know if it was on purpose. And it looked like they were fucking dying up there when they're fucking their new jumpsuits that they were wearing. Because they're wearing white ones for their summer tour. And Corey rips off like half of it because he's fucking. You can tell he's
dying.
Yeah, well, especially the monsoon storm we had the night before, and it was all humid and muggy. And I messaged Kyle. I was like, "Dude, this sucks that you're going to this outside show on this date because it's so nasty outside."
I was praying for rain. It was weird though because like Behemoth was badass. What's it called? The Gajora. They were badass. Volbeat's a good band, but it just didn't fit the bill. So it was really weird to hear this black metal, this heavy metal, and then a rockabilly band, and then Slipknot.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Like they Volbeat was just a weird. Like I like Volbeat; they've got some good tunes, but it just didn't place in that show. Like they probably could have found somebody else to play that slot. But no, man, Slipknot fucking killed it. And their album came out today. And it's fucking probably one of their best albums.
Did you guys hear the new Tool?
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, it is.
It's garbage, and he speaks in another fucking language for a big portion of that 10 minutes of train wreck.
It's not that bad. It might grow on you, but it's not good. It's not great.
It's never gonna grow. It's for 13 years. It's a fucking real letdown. You know what it sounded like? A B-side from their last album.
Yeah.
Something that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, this just proves that Perfect Circle is way better than Tool. I hate to say that, but it's God's truth. I'd rather hear a new Perfect Circle album than I would a Tool album any day.
I'd listened to it, and I was just like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the hugest Tool fan. I've never been the hugest Tool fan. They've got a few good songs, and then like they were supposed to do this awesome thing in Jerome, and it's a venue, it's a place, it's his barber shop.
Yeah,
82 people.
Yeah,
he's gonna serve finger foods at it. Fuck off. Do not make it. You know, they added another show on Friday, the Friday after, to accommodate. Oh, great! So now 164 people get to go between 2 days. Fuck off, Maynard. Don't fucking bullshit us like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you can go to Zia's and do a listening party. I was just like, nah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I will say, the baddest band on the planet right now is a band called Sleep Token, and they just put out a 4-song EP. That is probably the baddest EP I've heard in 10 years. So, you know, if you guys listen to that shitty Tool song that drives you to slit your wrist, go listen to Sleep Token, and you can thank me later for changing your life. Yeah. So. Anything else, gentlemen?
That's all I've got for this week. Jose, you got anything?
I went to go see that Scary Movie Stories or whatever last night.
Scary Stories Still in the Dark?
Fucking sucked. Oh my God.
Did it really?
My friend wanted to go see it, and I was like, all right, let's go.
What friend?
And
Jeff,
this
probably.
No.
Is she your friend or is she your girlfriend?
No, this is a different girl.
Damn,
wanted to go see it.
Player.
Jose is swimming in that shit.
Right?
Pimping ain't easy. Look at him brushing his shoulder off.
Drip drop, man.
Fucking Jose popped his fucking collar.
Jesus, man.
But yeah, she wanted to go see it, and I was like,
Did you just fucking smell your fingers, bro?
I saw him, dude. I just saw him, dude. He did.
I said, sure, let's go see it, and I saw it, and I wanted to leave halfway, and it totally sucked. It was horrible. it's when stuff happens, or you can tell what's going to happen before you see it or what you're watching it, and it's.
Did they take the stories from the book?
To be honest, I haven't read it in forever, so I don't remember. They have titles from some stories, but I don't know about the new ones.
Dude, the art in that fucking book was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great.
For a fourth grader's book, that fucking art in that book is phenomenal.
But yeah, it was shitty. Don't waste your money.
I can't think of a movie that I would go see. That's definitely not one of them.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I wanted to go see.
I've seen that. We talked about that last week while you were gone.
Yeah, I want to go see that.
Anything else, boys?
Good show. Great show, gentlemen.
All right, well, while we're winding down, guys, remember, next week, be in the chat as we are giving away the first ever Absolute Geek box.
To be in the chat.
Make sure to, tweet this and share the episodes. I'll edit both episodes together to make it easier for everyone else since we had that technical difficulty. But yeah, guys, when we post it on social media, share it. Every share gets you an entrance into the first ever Absolute Geek box. Also, we had we made a good run at it last week's episode. Had quite a few likes. Every like, once we hit 50 likes, gonna give away this Spider-Man Venom print, frame included. 50 likes. As soon as an episode hits 50 likes, the following episode we will raffle that off to everyone in the chat. So that's definitely be on the lookout for that. Also, Kyle, the 200 subscriber slab book giveaway, 9.8. What is it? 9.8 Marvel Legacy.
Yeah, 1 in 100
Alex Ross variant, sketch variant. That's out there too. So let's make sure to be like Kyle and tell your friends about the Absolute Geek Podcast and get them to subscribe, and as soon as we hit 200, we'll give that away. But
word of mouth.
Guys, I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat. Again, sorry tonight with the technical difficulties that YouTube decided to crash.
Fucking Matt.
During the middle of it's my fault. During the middle of the interview. I want to thank Anthony from Bird City Comics for joining us tonight and giving us a lot of info on online auctions and kind of hanging out with us and just it was just a really good interview. Good job, Brian, on leading and conducting that interview. And Kyle, yes, and Kyle. Everyone, we all did a good job. I just say Brian because he talked the majority of the time, but everyone did a great job.
Yes, excellent show, gentlemen.
Thanks, boss.
You did fantastic, Kyle. I'll give you a raise.
Thanks, Dad.
I'll give you a raise. But you give him a round of applause. But guys, I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat tonight. If you had a good time, like I said, make sure to hit that like button. If it's your first time checking us out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to this on any of your audio platforms, SoundCloud, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Overcast, Google, iTunes, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us reviews. It helps us out big time.
Remember to everybody that listens to us every week, we are live on YouTube every Friday night, 7:30 Arizona time.
There you go.
If you ever want to check us out, you normally listen to us on Wednesday on your crappy drive home, but you know what? You're like, fuck, I got ghosted. I don't know what to do. It's Friday night. You can come hang out with us live on YouTube.
Absolutely. Guys, if you are finding us for the first time on Podcoin, as we're on there now, where you can get money and donate to charity for listening to podcasts, check us out on Podcoin. So for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Wolf.
I'm Jose.
I'm Brian.
And we will see you next time.
And Max.